The back of the end zone for a touchback.
Wait, that 53.
Check 45 to Mike. Watch the run, watch the run.
Brady now on first down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On 2nd and 12, Brady. Can't get away, and Brady will go down. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
72.
Shotgun now for Brady. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On play action, Winston. Caught here by Conley. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Yeah, Brady's throw there, incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Double dog. That's the way. Alert! 45 to Mike. 45 to second.
To throw again. Brady. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Brady now to throw. He's going deep for Brown. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Now, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the counter, here's Jones. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now 14-0. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball over.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Following the interception, Winston. This is Miller, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And able to find Conley.
Winston's pass complete to Chris Conley.
Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Jameis now on 1st down. Dancing to his left. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And it's a Buccaneers touchdown. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
This will be taken very short. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 at the 9-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. Thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
That throw by Brady incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Jacobs. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
And that's one of the reasons we like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Wait, 53. Here we go. Watch time. Tight end right. 3. Wait, 28.
Throwing is Brady on third down. Able to find Walter. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop.
2nd and 10 at the Bucs 30-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Brady. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Jones. And Marquell Lee with a stop defensively.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
I don't think you got it, sir.
This is Jones. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Throwing, Winston. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the 1st down with his legs. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Black 25. All day, every day, any day.
A 1st carry for Samaje Perine. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. 2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football.
Good work, boy.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. And they try to sweep to Jones. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throwing again. Brady. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. A loss of 8 that time, and it brings up 3rd down. That last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd.
72. 45. Hey, Alabama.
Brady to throw again. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Incomplete. He was defended by Jalen Ramsey.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Watch the pass. Hey, check it. 45's the mic. 45's the mic. Oh, you got it.
They do go for it. It's Brady. And he's going to go down way back at the 42-yard line. Breon Body Calhoun, a sack coming off the corner blitz.
The result of the play is a turnover.
Blue lane. 2 times. 2 times. Hey.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Pirine. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. 5 yards on the carry, good pickup on first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run with Logan. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 13. It's a first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's first and 10.
First down, Tampa Bay.
They'll run it here with Pirine. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's second and 11. Jones. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed him down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for them.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29.
Let's go.
A big play that time for the Raiders. 46 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10.
Hey, ball 66.
Here's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Bart, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. That's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching, and there was another first down run right there.
They go play action here on first down. Dayon Buchanan. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Hey, alert!
They'll run. It's Washington. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Washington. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Wait, that 380! Mike, 45. Let's go, let's go! Undercrush.
They'll run it with Jacobs. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. They'll run with Jacobs. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th.
Pick your game up. Ozzy! 54, right there. 54, Mike. Here we go, D, get off the field.
They'll go for it. It's Brady. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now a carry for Pirine, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun to give to Jones. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On the carry, it's Logan. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run it here with Logan. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Bucs on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
All day, dog.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Play action now. Kaiser. He rifles one that's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. On first down, it's Jones. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. On second down, it's Logan. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left.
Ready. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Let him go.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Winston on the keeper. It's a loss of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
Ready.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Let him go.
Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. Here's Bradley Pinion now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Bradley Pena now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Martin, the return. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit no matter what the battle is. We're going to finish this thing out.
So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Tampa Bay, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets.